chapter 2, part 6, verse 90. What they have sold their souls for is evil, to the denial of God's own revelation, grudging that he should reveal his bounty to whom he chooses from among his servants. They have incurred wrath upon wrath. Humiliating punishment awaits those who deny the truth. Verse 91. When they are told, "Believe in what God has revealed," they say, "We believe in what was revealed to us," while they deny the truth and what has been sent down after that, even though it is the truth, confirming that which they already have. Say, "Why did you kill God's prophets in the past, if you were true believers?" Jews rejected me, stating that God would have selected one of the scholars from their community as messenger, citing examples of Moses and Jesus. When I asked Jews to believe my teachings, since same has been sent down by universal God, they argued that they are already following what has been sent down by God earlier, which has been delivered by Moses and Jesus. Old Scriptures does mention that Jews did not accept Jesus as prophet, and even cooperated in getting him killed. If they really believed whatever has been delivered by God, then why did they kill Jesus? They would face heavy punishment for rejecting me. Verse 92. Moses came to you with clear signs, but in his absence you worshipped the calf, and became wrongdoers. Verse 93. When we made a covenant with you and raised the mountain above you, saying, "Hold firmly to what we have given you, and listen," you said, "We hear, but we disobey." And their hearts were filled with the love of the calf, because of their refusal to acknowledge the truth. Say, evil is that to which your faith enjoins you if you are indeed believers. The reminder of the story of Moses and behavior demonstrated by Jews. Mount Sinai was at center stage during the journey of Jews from Egypt to Israel. Verse 94. Say, if God's abode of the hereafter is for you alone, to the exclusion of all others, then wish for death, if you are truthful. Verse 95. But they will never wish for death, because of what their own hands have sent on before them. God is fully aware of the wrongdoers. Verse 96. You will find them clinging to life more eagerly than any other people, even the polytheists. Any of them would wish to be given a life of 1,000 years, though even such a long life would not save them from our punishment, and God sees all that they do. There is a belief among the Jews that they are children of Jacob and God would take care of them even after their death. If that is the case, why don't they seek death, and want to continue to live forever? Death is a fearful incident, and all the creatures in this world are afraid of it. Even if we are in a very bad state in this world, we don't want to die because we are not sure of our state after death. Many scholars from ancient times tried to explain the universal life cycle, which includes birth and death of creatures. They tried to remove the fear of death from minds of people, and suggested them to accept death as a very natural phenomenon just like birth. Most of the theories proposed for this purpose suggest life after death in one or other form. We shall discuss these theories suggested by various scholars in detail later. Verse 97. Say, anyone who is an enemy of Gabriel, who by God's leave has brought down to your heart the Koran, fulfilling that predictions about the last prophet in the earlier revelations which precedes it, and is a guidance and good news for the faithful. Verse 98. Whoever is an enemy of God, his angels, or his messengers, or of Gabriel or Michael, will surely find that God too is the enemy of those who deny the truth. Verse 99. We have sent down clear signs to you, and no one will reject them except the wicked. Warning to Jews of consequences of having enmity with me, as it is as good as having enmity with universal God. As per old Scripture, the archangel Michael and Gabriel are considered to be angels of God. Michael has led the army of God during the war of heaven to defeat Satan. Gabriel has appeared to prophet Daniel to deliver explanations of Daniel's visions, and to Zacharias and Mary, foretelling the births of John the Baptist and Jesus, respectively. I claim that same Gabriel has revealed God's words to me also. Verse 100. Why is it that, whenever they make a covenant, some of them cast it aside? Most of them do not believe. People do not accept every new or old ideas and start following it. Human is a very thinking creature, and depending on the nature of each individual, level of thinking also varies, that is logical, emotional, spiritual, intellectual, etc. Hence different people may look at the same idea from different perspective, and each individual may treat it differently depending upon his own understanding of the subject. The same was applicable to the Jews also. They have believed Moses killed Jesus and then repent for it. They were reluctant to believe me, although I am repeating the same thing what Moses and Jesus have preached. Verse 101. Whenever a messenger from God has come to them, fulfilling that predictions which they already had, some of those to whom the book was given have cast off the book of God behind their backs, as if they had no knowledge. Verse 102. They pursued what the devils falsely attributed to the kingdom of Solomon. Solomon was not an unbeliever. It is the devils who are unbelievers. They taught people witchcraft, and that which was sent down to Harut and Marut, the two angels in Babylon. But these two taught no one, until they had said, "We are but a trial, therefore do not disbelieve in God's guidance." So men learned from them that by which they caused discord between man and wife, but they harmed no one thereby, except by the command of God. On the contrary, these people learned that which would harm them, and do them no good, knowing full well that whoever acquired this knowledge would have no share in the hereafter. Evil indeed was the price for which they sold their souls, if only they had known it. I am confirming what has been already said in earlier scriptures to Jews and Christians by messengers of God. But still they ignore my teachings and book, as if they don't have something like that, although they already have Torah and Gospel. Solomon was considered to be holding many supernatural powers. There is a story of Solomon having hidden the book of magic under his throne, which was discovered after his death. Some believe that Solomon was a prophet, and hid that book which was written by evils so that people would not learn that magic and get harmed. Others believe that Solomon was a magician, and he used to learn magic from that book. I just cleared Solomon of that blame by supporting him as a prophet. Harut and Marut lived in Babylon, a very ancient seat of science, especially the science of astronomy and magic. The period may be supposed to be anywhere about the time when the ancient Eastern monarchies were strong and enlightened. Harut and Marut possessed some form of knowledge with respect to magic which people were eager to learn from. It was believed that they taught evil magic to separate husband and wife. But I defend them and believe that they were good people, since they have been sent down by universal God. Verse 103. And had they but believed and been mindful of God, His reward would have been far better for them if they had but known it. I can assure of better rewards from universal God if you have faith on Him and do not follow evil magicians. Even messengers of God have done miracles, but they never harmed anyone with their miracles. Those were meant for good and to prove their claim of being messengers of God. Verse 104. Believers, do not say to the prophet, Rina, but say, Unzerna, and listen to him with attention. For those who deny the truth, there is a painful punishment. I strictly condemn the people who use words with bad meaning for messengers of universal God, and recommend harsh punishment for those who insult prophets. It's our duty to take care of each other as member of Society of Prophets. Verse 105. They who deny the truth from among the people of the book, or from among those who associate partners with God, do not desire that any good should be sent down to you from your Lord. But God singles out for His grace whom He wills, for God is limitless in His great bounty. I condemned idol worshippers tremendously. Hence Jews hated me like anything. The problem still persists with a growing valley between my followers and idol worshippers. As I have my own reasoning to deny idol worshipping, they have their own justification. Harmony is still possible between the two, if both respect each other's faiths. But it was not the case with me. I was hell-bent to eradicate idols and their worshippers. Hence they never respected me, and always prayed for my downfall. Verse 106. If we abrogate a verse or cause it to be forgotten, we will replace it by a better one, or one similar to it. Do you not know that God has power over all things? One of the justifications offered by Jews to deny me was that they already have a book with them, that is Talmud. But the fact is, nothing is constant in this world, including knowledge. The wisdom shared by Moses and Jesus holds well, may be for a certain period. But it cannot hold good eternal. Society evolves with knowledge. We may find that certain scriptures become obsolete because of the change in environment, society, new inventions, human thinking, etc. Hence periodical review of those scriptures is required. Obviously, I am not the last one to do so. Many more would follow, as per the need of the hour. Upgraded knowledge would enrich the society, and will make this world a better place to live in. Hence I request everyone to accept the new knowledge with open heart, and be prepared to be relieved of the burden of outdated garbage for society to progress. Verse 107. Do you not know that the kingdom of the heavens and the earth belongs to God alone, and that there is no protector or helper for you besides God? I uphold concept of single universal God. Verse 108. Do you all want to question your messenger just as Moses was questioned previously? Anyone who exchanges faith for unbelief has strayed from the right path. As per the old scripture, Jews questioned credibility of Moses many times. I think that there was a huge gap between people like me and Moses and the common people when it comes to social behavior of humans and its effect on society on long-term basis. I was thinking from a different plane altogether. The people who raise questions about me definitely won't follow us, because they will never be satisfied with my reply. My preaching is coming from an intellectual level, which is beyond your understanding. Hence it's better you just follow us rather than argue with me. The trend continued even today. Most of the leaders take common people granted with the feeling that their level of understanding is far lower than of leaders. Verse 109. Many among the people of the book wish, through envy, to lead you back to unbelief, now that you have embraced the faith, and the truth has been made plain to them. But you should pardon them, and bear with them until God gives His command. Truly, God has power over all things. Verse 110. Attend to your prayers and pay the prescribed alms. Any good you store up for yourselves, you will find it with God. Certainly, God sees what you do. It's quite possible that non-believers may try to convince believers not to follow me with their arguments. I suggest you to ignore them. Continue your good work like prayer, charity, etc. Verse 111. They declare, none shall ever enter heaven, unless he be a Jew or a Christian. This is their own wishful thinking. Prophets say, produce your evidence if you are telling the truth. Jews and Christians believe that they were special people of God, and will enter into heaven. If that is the case, let them produce proof of the same. As per the old scriptures, although both of them had blessings from God, it does not guarantee them a direct ticket to heaven. Both of them have been asked to follow many rules and regulations. Are they really following all those guidelines? Verse 112. Indeed, those who submit themselves to God and act righteously shall be rewarded by their Lord. They shall have no fear, nor shall they grieve. If you devote yourself to the Supreme God, and do good things in life, you need not fear or worry. The same concept has been explained in the sacred books of all religions, including the Bible, Bhagavad Gita, Tipitaka, Guru Granth Sahib, Agams, and Talmud, etc. The only difference lies in the process. For example, in Talmud, slaughter of animal has been suggested as part of the sin offering, whereas Bhagavad Gita suggests that you may offer leaves and fruits to God. But good behavior for the benefit of the society is recommended in both. Verse 113. The Jews say, the Christians have no ground to stand on, and the Christians say, the Jews have no ground to stand on. Yet they both recite the book, and those who have no knowledge say the same. God will judge between them on the day of resurrection concerning their disputes. There is a long history of battle for superiority between Jews and Christians, although both of them referred to the same faith and belief system, till Jesus injected some new ideas. Christians separated themselves from Jews only during the period of Jesus, after following Judaism for a long time. There is no denying that Jesus has changed the face of Jewish society with his revolutionary thinking. He has criticized many of the Jewish traditions and wanted people to follow a more logical and humanitarian path compared to their traditional religious doctrines, which were based on deterrence of natural disaster, illness, etc. from God for their sins. But it doesn't mean that Christianity has fallen from the sky. It is just another faith system separated from Judaism. Hence there is no question of superiority or inferiority. We also need to remember that Jesus was a Jew by birth, not a Christian, and Christianity is a belief system separated out of Judaism. Verse 114. who could be more wicked than someone who prevents God's name from being mentioned in his places of worship and seeks to bring about their ruin, while it behoves these men to enter them with fear in their hearts? There is disgrace in store for them in this world, and a great punishment in the next. There were pagans in Mecca who tried to stop my followers from visiting the Kaaba, the universal place of Arab worship. I strongly condemn them for denying the principle of freedom of worship in a public mosque or place dedicated to the worship of God. You may argue that why am I giving so much importance to a place of worship, although it does not matter where you worship, as long as you are praying to a universal God. I would like to clarify that it's not about the place of worship, but about the freedom of following one's own faith and belief. You may further argue, then how can I condemn idol worshippers who also have the freedom of following their own faith and belief? It's not correct to say that their beliefs are wrong and mine are right just because I carry the tag of self-claimed prophethood. Many of my beliefs have also started losing ground with the advancement of science and technology. Verse 115. The east and the west belong to God. Whichever way you turn, there is the face of God. God is all-pervading and all-knowing. I upheld concept of omnipresent supreme God. This has been promoted by all the religions with or without justification. Let us see how this concept has been justified by various cultures. A. If we believe that God is an entity who is supreme and powerful enough that he is able to create and manage this whole universe, then it is not difficult to believe that he can be present everywhere, every time. B. Buddha believed that every mind creates its own illusionary world, which is actually not present. Hence, if our mind wants to see God everywhere, it's quite possible. C. Krishna believed that there is Godhead or Atman in every creature including plants, God everywhere again. D. Modern science believes that this universe is nothing but expansion of a dense entity, and is continuing to expand at this moment also. Again, presence of originator or God everywhere. So it's not really challenging to believe in an omnipresent universal God. Verse 116. They say, God has taken a son. Glory be to him. Everything in the heavens and the earth belongs to him, all things are obedient to him. Verse 117. He is the originator of the heavens and the earth, and when he decrees something, he says only, be. And it is. The Jews said that Uzair was the Son of God. The Christians claimed the same thing for Jesus. I condemn their belief of Son of God. God has created everything in this universe. He is capable of taking care of his creation, and doesn't need any support. Hence there is no scope for a concept of Son of God. Messengers of God can still exist like me or Moses, to carry out certain tasks which he doesn't want to do himself. Not sure why he was wasting valuable time of angels by using them as postmasters. As per historians, Jesus used to claim himself to be Son of God. I can, at most, accept him as messenger of God. You may argue that when God is so capable, why he needs prophets to deliver the message? He himself can very well do it as claimed by Krishna or Jesus. Why would he appoint a mediator for that? Let me answer your question. You must have come across rich people who keep many servants to manage daily activities. It's not that they can't do all that, but there are certain limitations. He will have only 24 hours in a day, having certain physical and mental capabilities. He has to maintain and demonstrate certain status in the society, and to achieve that he has to give higher priority to certain activities. All this cannot be managed without helpers. Same applies to God also. Since he has to manage so many things, helping hands are always required. You may further argue that there is no limitations for God when compared to rich person, who has many limitations. Hence helper for God is still not justified. I believe in theory of creator and creation. Since we are part of creation, it's not possible for us to claim seat of creator. Hence I am not convinced with Jesus. So shall we believe that Jesus was lying? Problem here is if I agree that whatever Jesus said was right, then he becomes superior to me, Son of God versus messenger of God, and I will never able to convince Christians to follow my teachings. Hence I condemned Christians for their belief of Son of God, but I did not want to target Jesus since he belongs to our community, that is prophets. It's better to avoid certain things being put in black and white. Gray shade is also one of the characteristics of nature. Verse 118. Those who are devoid of knowledge say, "Why does God not speak to us, or show us a sign?" The same demand was made by those before them, their hearts are all alike. We have made the signs clear to those whose faith is firm. Verse 119. We have sent you with the truth, bearing good news, and giving warning. You will not be held accountable for the people of the fire. Verse 120. Neither the Christians nor the Jews will be pleased with you until you follow their ways. Say, God's guidance is the only true guidance. If you followed their desires after the knowledge which has come to you, you would not have any patron or supporter against God. There is a long history of Jews asking for proof of invisible universal God from prophets time to time. They never get satisfied with proofs produced to them, and keep on going back to their traditional religion with idol worship. I warn them to beware of the consequences for their acts, as they are not ready to change their attitude even after getting the knowledge of God several times through prophets. Verse 121. Those whom we have given this book follow it, as it ought to be followed. It is they who truly believe in it. Those who deny it will be the losers. I shared huge knowledge and guidelines to study and follow it. It was not a time pass activity. There is desperate message in the book which has to be understood for the betterment of the society. Those who don't follow this book, individuals as well as society, would be losers. I was working on a dream of building a just and peaceful society for which this book would act as a foundation stone. Verse 122. Children of Israel, remember my favor which I have bestowed upon you, and how I preferred you above all other people. Verse 123. And fear a day when no human being shall avail another, nor shall ransom be accepted from any of them, nor shall intercession be of any use to them, and none shall be succored. Favors offered by God to Jews, that is relieving them of slavery, allotment of self-sufficient exclusive land of Israel, for them, guidance of prophets on regular basis, etc. But on Judgment Day they would be measured by their performance throughout their lives. Nothing else can save them on that day. End of chapter 2, part 6.